And now, back to the Dave Nemo Show.
Again, everybody, and here we are once again from Dallas, Texas, at the Great American Trucking Show. And I think the show is about to get rolling here. We're going to broadcast for the next few minutes here from the beautiful Omni Hotel at the Convention Center. And a guy that you've heard with us on the air quite a bit over the last several months, Tim Aschoff is with us. Tim is president of Shaffer, COO of Crete. Man, it's good to see you again.
It's great to be back. It seems like it wasn't that long ago. A year flies, and we're back at the Great American Truck Show, getting to see a lot of great people and a lot of great new exhibits at the show, and it's going to be a fun, exciting couple of days.
You know, as widespread and as constantly moving as trucking is, even trucking radio, I get to see Chris T. and Meredith and Noah maybe once or twice a year, and that's about it. And that, these get-togethers, so to speak, mean a lot more than a lot of folks might think.
You know, it really does, because, as in anything else, it's all about the people. And, with technology now, we seem to communicate, but we don't get to have these face-to-face meetings with each other, and it's great to do that. And it's great to do that even with our company, with our drivers. We have so many great drivers out there, but we communicate with them over the phone or over Qualcomm, or otherwise you don't get to see them. So it's great to meet a lot of the drivers. Our drivers come through the show, too, and get to see them face-to-face.
Well, it's interesting about, and we won't go off on a tangent here, I promise, but it's interesting about all of the social media, all the communications that we have. It seems to bring people together in one way, but it separates them in another. It's this dichotomy that we haven't figured out yet, I guess.
It is. It's a delicate balance that is, ever evolving, and in a lot of ways it's good, particularly for drivers, to help them stay connected to family and friends. But it's, it's just a partial connection. It's still not like being face-to-face and being able to shake their hand or, look them in the eye.
Well, we are face-to-face, and we have shaken hands with Rex and Donna, so I'll have you introduce them.
Yeah, great. Thank you. I have with me here today two of our great Crete and Shaffer Hunt drivers. I have Rex Gobb. He's our Hunt Patriot Fleet driver. And I have Donna Lucian, and she's a great female trainer for us at Crete, and it's great to have them with us, and again, to be with them face-to-face.
Indeed. So, Donna, tell us a little bit about, you're from Kentucky and kind of migrated across the border there, huh?
Yes, I migrated across the border to Indiana and grew up down there in southern Indiana. What else do you need to know?
Well, I'll just keep asking questions. You keep answering them. Where were you on the night of the 14th?
I'm not telling on grounds that might incriminate me.
So, now you're a trainer.
Yes, I am.
Yeah,
I've been training for Crete since 2011. I've been with Crete since 2010. Started in 2008 as a driver. I'm the only driver in my family, only female in my family even doing anything like this. I'm here with Crete trying to promote more females into the industry. It's a job that you can have and be able to support your family, make decent money, get good home time. I get quality home time with my family. And it's a job that can prepare you for the future down the road. So it's a good company to work for.
Yeah, one of the things, I'm not so sure how to phrase this, Tim, but you get a lot of folks in different professions, and even though it might be a good job, it's what's known as a dead-end job. There's not much beyond this, But trucking used to be considered that to a great degree. I don't think it is much anymore.
Well, I don't think so. I mean, I think, the industry's evolved so much that it is what you want to make it. There's many different opportunities. I mean, look at with Crete itself, with our family of companies, if you want to do dry van, you can do dry van. If you want to change up and do temp, you can do temp. And if you want to do open deck, specialized flatbed, you can go over to Hunt Transportation. So, there's different opportunities to do different things, as well as, we have different offerings of different fleets that may be specialized, whether it's a dedicated fleet or a regional fleet that gives you a little bit of change up. And then certainly with our, over 15 offices across the country, you always have opportunity to come in and decide if you want to work on the other side of the steering wheel, so to speak, and work in our operations group or fleet management group. We have some that come over and work in our shop. There's always opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. And I think those opportunities continue to build and grow and expand.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a good thing about also being part of a growing company. When you're part of a growing company, there is always a need for more good quality people, and gives opportunity for those who want to do something different to come on board. get great at what they do, and then look for the next step.
We talk a lot about in our little world of WWT, the wonderful world of trucking. We always kind of talk about the generational changes that are going on the road, the different face of trucking. Donna, you just explained that you're the first person ever in your family to
Yes.
wind up in a truck. Rex, though, when I saw you and you're pretty much the same age I am. You got out of the Navy the same year I got out of the Army.
Yes, sir.
So I'm thinking, well, here's a guy from a trucking family. No.
Just came back from Vietnam and went to live with my grandmother down in Southern Oregon. And one of the friends that I hang out with down there asked me if I wanted to drive a log truck, and I said, sure, why not? Let's go for it. And I've been hooked ever since. And in one shape, form, or another, whether it be flatbedding or hauling a dry box or reefer, I prefer flatbed. It's keeps me healthy. I enjoy it. They say it's too difficult for some people, but I find it relatively easy. I don't have a problem with it at all, and that's why I do it.
Well, that combines, even though you don't come from an old school trucking family, you have that old school trucking get her done attitude.
Well, thank you. I come from the old school. I was taught by old school people, so that's basically the way I do my job. Of course, your pre-trips and all that kind of stuff. You got to do it. If you don't, you're going to end up on the side of the road someplace, or red tag over in the scale house someplace. So I just enjoy the open deck feature of trucking. It's just a lot of fun.
Well, kind of doubling back to your military history, Rex, your truck is here, and it's a very special unit.
Yes, sir. It's a Freightliner, brand new Freightliner. They put a military wrap on it. It's got dog tags with my name and Hunt's name, and the amount of service in the Navy, and the amount of time I've spent at Hunt. And it's got a big eagle on the top, on the sleeper, and a big shield on the hood. It says Patriot Fleet, and it's quite a striking vehicle when you first see it. When I saw it, when I went to pick it up after they did the work, I said, that's just beautiful. It's simply beautiful. So, and I've a lot of positive from it. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say anything negative about it. So,
well, that's saying something right there. But
Sure.
Tim, a lot of planning, a lot of collaboration, a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of money goes into making these trucks what they are.
It does, but it's for an extremely good cause. But we did add 5 Hunt Patriot Fleet trucks to our overall Patriot Fleet. We have now 20 Patriot Fleet trucks out on the road between Crete, Shaffer, and Hunt. Started the program about 4 years ago, knowing that we as a company had recognized that our chairman is a veteran, and we have over 30% of our workforce are veterans, and just really love the commitment that they've had to their country, their service they've had. I come from a family of veterans, and realized that we don't recognize that enough, and that this was a great way to honor all veterans, and it's essentially a rolling thank you down the road. And our Patriot Fleet trucks, our work trucks, Rex is out on the road hauling freight. And so he's going up and down the highways and saying that thank you. And it really has been a positive 4+ years for that. And I get to talk to so many drivers like Rex that have got to meet a lot of people out there and be great ambassadors of the trucking industry. It's a good way to be positive for the industry, not just for Crete, Shaffer, and Hunt transportation, but for the entire industry.
Yeah, because when the general public sees a big truck, that's all they see. They don't know whose name is on the side. Yeah, it's nothing to them unless it's a retail outlet and they've shop there or something. But essentially, a truck is a truck is a truck.
Sure. Let me add, it's an honor for me to drive that truck.
Well, yeah,
because having served myself, it kind of touches a spot in me that a lot of drivers, or anybody for that matter, doesn't get a chance to do. And it was almost breathtaking when Dave Galley, our fleet manager, asked me, "Would you like to drive a Patriot truck?" Absolutely. You know, and it's an honor to drive it, and it's certainly in my cap, you know. So
We really appreciate all of the efforts here. You know, George Washington kind of gave us, I won't say a warning, but a bit of advice on how we should treat our veterans and what would happen if we don't. So you guys have really stepped up on this, you know, I mean, really have.
Well, we appreciate that recognition from you, and you know, it's not about us. It is about the veterans and the service that they have done. And you know, I was raised that way too, as I mentioned, from a family of veterans, and that was something I was taught at a young age, to show respect. And you know, that's important, you know, not only for veterans, but I've, you know, tried to carry that over in what we do for our driving force and our workforce. You know, respect is so important. We're all out there to do just the best we can every day. It's not an easy job, even though Rex may say it's easy. He's got a lot of years of experience and makes it easy after that. So we know it can be difficult, and so just to show that respect is gratifying as well.
Well, the guys who know how to do it are the guys who know how to make it look easy. Well, you know, Donna, it's not an easy task. Driving a truck, male or female, that's for sure. But when it comes to the ladies in trucking, do you get a chance to talk to some young girls sometimes to kind of get them interested? What are some of the questions that girls or women would ask you?
Well, you know, a lot of them have families, you know, and it all boils down to how it works with your family. I find that the majority of the women are middle-aged or a little older, which, you know, a lot of people are coming out of the workforce then, or they're looking more toward retirement. But the way the economy is nowadays, you almost have to stay working longer. Mm-hmm. It's a job that a lot of the women will question, you know. It seems that if you're an empty nester, or, you know, a lot of them are struggling trying to get a job, this is a good job to have. You know, you've, like Tim said, you've got advancement opportunities in different areas. You know, if one doesn't work, the other one does. But a lot of them will ask me about their home time, about, you know, how much they make, retirement, the different other benefits that we have, the health insurance. You know, a lot of companies don't have as good a health insurance or benefits that we have. And I promote all that as to, you know, like I was talking to Tim earlier, my biggest thing was, would you retire from this company? When I was even looking, there was a big yes from this company. And I didn't hear that about a lot of other trucking companies.
Well,
so I was impressed.
That is interesting, because
I was very impressed with that.
Traditionally, Tim, you could retire from a company, you know, and all of that, but it's been, at least anecdotally, my experience that drivers traditionally have just gone from one company to another, whereby the driver shortage thing that came out about 25 or so years ago was always pictured as, no, it's just churn, you know, drivers between, and that pervades the conversation still. But, you know, there's some points to be made there.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we pride ourselves on longevity of our drivers, on their tenure. You know, our average tenure of our drivers is almost 5 years, which, you know, maybe in some industries that doesn't seem very long, but in trucking it is, because of that churn.
It is.
And, you know, I send a card to each one of our drivers on their anniversaries, and it's amazing how, you know, each month I've got so many that I'm sending there that have been here for 22, 25, 17, you know, 15 years, and it's so gratifying to know that we are a place where you can make a career and retire from. And we know that's important. And then back in the 80s, we actually started a profit-sharing plan for retirement, and each year we make a contribution to that. This last year we made an $8 million contribution to the profit-sharing plan, which for Donna probably equaled about 3.5% to 4% of her overall pay was put into a retirement account. So we do want people to have that feeling that I can come to work for Crete, Shaffer and Hunt, and I don't have to go anywhere else. I don't have to churn.
They take care of us. They really do.
Yeah, they do. And we have a couple of female drivers at Hunt also. There's some hard-working women. Mm-hmm. They can, thank you, they can outwork us.
She just showed us her guns right there.
They're pretty strong-minded and pretty strong-willed women, and I'm proud to work with them.
Well, you know, the thing of it is, we've gotten into this this mindset in our society here, in our modern age, that women are fragile and can't do anything. But I've read quite a bit about the migration west and the wagon trains and the women and the diaries that they used to keep and the hardships. My goodness gracious alive. If it wasn't for the women, we wouldn't have ever discovered anything, certainly west of the Ohio River, for God's sakes. I mean, really,
kidding.
you know,
That's
these women were the backbone of the men had their own things to do, but the women kept it together, and the hardships that they endured along the Oregon Trail and things like that, absolutely stunning, you know.
We get respect from the man out here as well, you know, to be out here
And
doing
that's
the
been a
same
long,
job that they're
hard
doing.
fight to
And
get, though.
yes, it has.
Yeah.
And even in other workforce, but this, you know, this gives you the freedom of seeing the world, you know, seeing the U.S. of A., meeting people from all around the world. I had the freedom of doing a job for Crete. My old job, I was a boss, and I didn't like it. I had unions. But coming to Crete, I'm kind of my own boss, but I'm not. I'm dedicated to getting that route there, you know, getting that load there when I say I'm going to be there. I have that freedom, but I have the freedom of making it happen in my time. And it gives you that opportunity to have that freedom. And that's one thing I enjoy about working for Crete and doing the things that I do. I've been all over the world, met people from all over the world. And it's where I'm going to be, I guess, until I retire.
Yeah, same here. I'm looking to retire at Hunt. It's one of the best companies I've ever worked for, or if not the best. They treat me with the utmost respect. And
that is something, okay, I keep interrupting everybody,
That's fine.
but everybody keeps saying something that really wants me to peg on that for a second, but respect, man.
Sure.
I mean, that has
Absolutely.
been one of the, in fact, anecdotally through the decades when we've asked drivers about, well, what's the most important thing, you know? Money, home time, respect. Those are the top three, and respect usually goes to number one. Money is always 2 or 3. Every once in a while it pops up to number 1. It's getting there now because we hear so much about the shortage and stuff like that. But it's the respect, you know. And something you said, Donna, you know, it's a long, hard road. I remember back when I first started going to truck stops to broadcast the old road gang show, you know, Midnight to Dawn. And I remember going to a place once, and my first time out, and there was this guy. And he was standing in front of the men's room, but he wouldn't leave, and he wouldn't let anybody in. I said, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, my wife is in there taking a shower." You know, there was no other facility for her to do. And this is in the 1980s, not the 1880s, Donna, you know. So,
Right.
yeah, it's been a long road, but a short road at the same time. For women to gain the respect, and the recognition is, I guess, maybe the first step towards respect, you know.
Absolutely, and for us, you know, we have to make that part of our culture because, you know, respect isn't one thing you can turn on. Pay, you can make a decision and I can increase pay and you can do it. Respect is something that you have to earn over time, and it's a lot of little things. It's a lot of, you know, having the facilities that obviously both males and females deserve. That shows respect, and you know, we've tried to ingrain that in our culture as a company. And, you know, we've got a number of principles we follow, and, you know, say what we mean what we say, those types of things. And that's what really shows that respect. And you know, I think that's why we've had such a long success over 75 years at Shaffer and Hunt. Crete will be celebrating its 50th anniversary next year. And to have that, you have to have ingrained in your culture that respect for each other.
Crete, Shaffer Hunt, a lot of great people, a lot of great opportunities, a lot of great mobility. No pun intended, but I mean within the companies, you move around, you move up, you do different things, and as you say, Donna, you don't have to leave.
No, you don't have to.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can. Oh, I just went.
Well, that's okay because we have to leave anyway. You guys got to get down to the show, and we got to get into news and weather here. But, wow, Tim Aschoff, always a great pleasure having you with us on the program.
Thank you very much. And I just tell your listeners, we're going to be at booth 7037. Come meet Donna or Rex. We are giving away a refrigerator for a truck. Sign up for a drawing for that. see Rex's Patriot Fleet truck and certainly talk to Donna about what it's like being a woman in trucking. And I'll be there as much as I can and hope to get a chance to talk to y'all too.
Donna Lucian, thank you. Rex Cobb, thank you. And thanks
You're
for
welcome.
your service.
Thank you for
Again,
having us.
congratulations on the. You don't say congratulations about driving that truck. Congratulations is a weird word
Sure.
to use
Well,
there.
I understand.
Yeah,
I get you, Jerry.
yeah. You
That's
understand
right.
we're getting that. Yeah. Tim, always a great pleasure.
Thank you very much.
And the booth number is 7037. Rex's truck will be there. Donna will be there. You will be there. And a bunch of other folks will be there.
Yeah, we'll have a whole team there
Yeah.
to tell you all about our family.
Great. And don't forget to register for the refrigerator. All right. Good thing to give away in Dallas.